All right, we have here Paul has 400 yards of fencing to enclose a rectangular area. Find the dimensions of the rectangle that maximize the enclosed area. What is the maximum area? Okay, so think about this because it's saying, as the previous word problems, we're saying maximize. We're going to use the formula for as we would use to find the vertex. Even if it was the minimum value, we want to find that center point. But before we do that, let's think about this fence. Okay, so it says he has 400 yards of fencing to enclose a rectangular area. So we know that to enclose this fencing, he has that is 400 yards. Now, the dimensions of find the dimensions of the rectangle. So that means we're talking about um, where it says to maximize the enclosed area. We're talking about the perimeter. Remember, perimeter is twice the length plus twice the width. Okay, so for this example, we're going to let x represent the length. Excuse me. We're going to let's start over. We're going to let x represent the width, and we're going to let y represent the length. Okay, and we know that we're adding the two sides, x and x, y and y. So you're saying twice x plus twice y equals to 400 yards. Okay, so because we want to find the length and width, okay, we're going to solve this equation in terms of y. I mean, I want y by itself on one side. So let's solve the equation for its length, which we're calling y. So we will subtract 2x to both sides. We have 2y is equal to negative 2x plus 400. Then we divide by 2. And we have y is equal to negative x plus 200. Okay? So because in order for us to, we're solving for y, because we want to be able to use, because one thing we have here is the area formula. So next, I'm going to call this part A, this part B. We're going to multiply the length and the width. Okay, so we said let the width be x and let the length be negative x plus 200. And let's distribute this. We have negative x squared plus 200. Part C now, we want to find the width. So, meaning the maximum value. So we're using negative b all over 2a. We have here, do we have this should be, sorry about that. That should be 200x. I just realized that. So we have b, which is going to be 200. So negative times 200 all over 2 times negative 1. We have negative 200 over negative 2, which gives us 100 yards. So that is the width. D, to find the length. See, we took this equation that we have what do we call the length? Negative x plus 200. Okay, y is equal to, find the length. In part A, we solve for y. Solving for y is the same thing as solving for the length. So we know what x is now. It's 100 yards here. Okay, let me move this up so you can see the whole thing. There we go. So y is equal to negative x plus 200. We have negative 100 plus 200, which gives us 100 yards for the length. So here's the width, here's the length, and then part D, I'm creating parts for this. The last sentence, what is the maximum area? Now that we know the width and the length, we're going to multiply those together. 100 times 100, which gives us 10,000. And because we're measuring this in area, we're saying square yards. And that's our final answer.